to the light bill. Thank you for the $100, Wayne. Let's get 1,000 Wayne W's down below in the chat. I would also like to thank Megan for the $30 over on Venmo. Megan says, I'm a case manager at a permanent supportive housing location. We house chronically homeless individuals with high vulnerability. If the big, beautiful bill passes, my tenants will die. Please encourage people to call and email their representatives to get against the BBB. Yo, 110%. The BBB, as I just said, is one of the worst, if not the worst, economic policy I've ever set forth through Congress. It sucks. Tell your representatives to shoot that shit down. Shout out to Megan as well for the $30, and very important message. Michael, hello, are you MAGA?
No, I don't really support politics, but I know Cookie King mogs you.
Job. Get one. Oh, he already left. God damn it. Okay. Moving on to Tyler. Hey, also, if you're a part of the 9.6 thousand people watching in and you want to support me, you could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. I get 100% of those proceeds. They help me keep the studio running for 4 hours a day, every single day, as well. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to support, you could find the Venmo and the PayPal and the pin message, as well as Kim. Thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. What is up, Tyler? Are you MAGA?
I'm underage, but I love you, Dean.
Okay, well, I appreciate you so much for the love, Tyler. I do got to kick you because you are underage. Let's go to move on to the next guest right now. Everybody looking for that next guest, go to drop a MAGA down below in that chat, accompanied with your age, if you want to come up with a debate. You know, we got Brandon loading up. Hello, are you MAGA? Brayden is not here, so goodbye, and moving on to Luke. Luke has a football emoji and 2 crosses in his name. I feel like he's...
Cookie King mobs you.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, man. Yo, Santana, you'll actually see it's harder to find guests on this live to debate than it is on, like, your own live or, like, Parker's. I don't know why.
Bro, I've been watching, and it's brutal.
It's pretty brutal. It is. It's pretty brutal. Unfortunately, I'm starting to get used to it, though. What's up, your mom? Do you support Trump?
No. So I'm Australian, and I just wanted to put in that.
I'm sorry, I had to kick you. We are just looking for debates. Thank you for coming up, though. If you're in the queue and you're not at least 18, here to debate me about why you support Trump and from America, I'm gonna kick you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So please just leave the queue so I don't have to turn around and kick you. You know what I mean, chat? I beg. Somebody else in the chat says, "Where's Parker at?" Oh, I don't know. He's not been on yet today. What's up, Jazz? You support Trump?
Yes, I voted for Trump.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Great. Before we hop into your debate, got to thank Winnie for the $25 on Venmo. That is WINI. Says thank you. Thank you, Winnie. Show some love to Winnie down below in that chat. And take it away. Why the hell do you support the worst president of your life, Mr. Dapey Don, Donald Trump, Orange Menace? Take it away.
I mean, I will say I do think he's crazy. I don't think he's like the president of the century, but I do think like between Harris and Trump, I kind of like it was like picking the less of two evils, almost, I think, in my opinion.
Oh.
So that's why I voted for.
So why was the crazy lunatic, adjudicated rapist, fascist, 34-count felon the lesser of two evils?
Well, I just felt like, I just felt like Kamala was just like, oh, sorry, that's my fault. Kamala was just like a suit for
Obama.
Like Obama.
Boom!
Yeah.
Oh my God! How did I know? Let's go! Oh, dude, I'm on it today. I'm on it today.
No, it's cool. If you don't think that, I'd like to learn. Because I think what's tough about me is like my whole family is super red. Like my dad and my stepdad and my mom, they're like MAGA all the way, and I'm not that. It's really hard to talk with them because they get really defensive. Which is a lot of the MAGA community. That's why I'm not super MAGA, but I did vote for Trump just because more of I'm a mom, so
can I be honest with you? Can I be honest with you? So the whole everything from Kamala Harris to Biden to the Democrat Party, it all runs back to Obama. That's just racism. I can tell you why.
Well, she's not. Why is it racist? Because she's brown?
Actually, because Obama's black. And I'll explain why in this circumstance. It's because Obama's black. So, like, conservatives hated the fact that we had a black president so much that, of course, when he was president, they demonized him to the absolute max. But what I think really demonstrates this point to be racism, because all presidents can get demonized, is that we're still demonizing him and blaming everything that happens on him 12 years after.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah,
you know
I
you
do-
know you
I
know
do
what I
think-
you know what I mean. It's like the idea that everything tracks back to Obama. It's all Obama's fault. Just blaming the black man for everything.
Well, and
Go ahead.
No,
I'll
yeah,
even give you this. I mean, Jess, have you heard of the term blacklash?
no, I haven't. Could you educate me on that?
So the it's a theory that the election of Donald Trump was a direct backlash from a black man being president and the need to reclaim the country. And it's, to Dean's point, it's been something that has been used as a boogeyman. We do understand that the right always needs a boogeyman, and they've continued to use this over the years to actually perpetuate said fear to try to stay in power.
Yeah, and I guess I want to ask you a question here. Why does everything run back to Obama but not to Clinton?
Like
Why is Obama
I
the
don't
source
know.
of the evil but Clinton isn't?
I don't know. That's a good point, and I really think that kind of opened my eyes. You know, the backlash term, and that's a good thing to, do more research out. I don't want to be like, what's it called? I don't want to be ignorant and everything. So it's good to like know that. I think the biggest thing that I voted for Trump was just because what's happening in Washington right now is they just passed. I don't know if they passed, but I know it's on Ferguson's table where like if you are, once you reach 13, public schools can send that kid to counseling, trans counseling without the parents' knowledge or consent at all. And
So
I
you're
do
saying that
think
students
it is
can talk to
important-
counselors without the parents' knowledge or
like
consent?
not just counselors, but even like get help to like transition. And I think
Really?
that
Okay. What help can they get to transition?
I haven't read the whole thing, but I think the thing that scares me about
Obviously, you've read a
is
little
that,
bit. Like, what is the help that they could get to transition without the approval of their parents?
from my knowledge is just the counseling. I don't know if there's more or less.
So they could have somebody to talk to.
Yeah, but I do feel
Okay,
like
so I
having
just want to
the
clarify.
parents
I just
wait,
want to
let me
clarify.
go-
No.
Can I finish my thought?
No, you can. I'm talking. I'm sorry, Jess. I do apologize. I am.
You interrupted me when I was trying to finish my thought. And
I
that's,
know. I am interrupting you, and I will apologize for it. I just,
Okay. I would like to
just
finish
have
my
a-
thought once you're done with your thought. I know this
Great.
is your stream, but I would like to finish my thought.
Great. Okay, because all you're saying here is that children shouldn't be able to talk to counselors at school about things that are relevant to them.
And that's not what I said.
That is.
No, because I didn't get to my point. I don't think it's good to cut out the parents.
I do. I can tell you why.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're going to the counselor, not their parents, for a reason.
Okay. I mean, yeah, but like, so I think every kid goes through that gender dysphoria once they, especially like higher number when if they're on the spectrum. Yeah, a lot. It's just one of those things that is very common in puberty. My brother went through it. Like he thought he was he wanted to be a girl. You know, he has autism. He was going through puberty. He didn't like it. He wanted to be a girl. Once he passed that part, he didn't. You know, he knows he's a boy, and that is important. Like because if my mom was like, "Oh, let's put you on
can we,
meds and everything,"
I'd like to
that
clarify.
would have been bad. He would have regretted that decision.
I'd like to clarify first and foremost that I'm not okay with basically saying that people with autism are going to think they're something they're not. I'm not okay with that. The reason why I'm not okay with that is because it just kind of further stigmatizes autism, as well as it kind of like sets forth this precedent that if you have autism, you're therefore also supposed to turn around and have these particular struggles. And who knows, maybe there's some people with autism that are going to hear you say that and be like, should I be questioning my gender identity?
No,
I just
never
say
said that.
it's probably like not a good thing to say, well, if you have autism, you might
Okay.
like you're trans. I don't think that's okay.
No, I never said
now,
that. I just said
I,
that.
I also
because-
I also just like want to point out here that like a counselor at school, somebody to talk to about one's feelings. They're questioning their gender identity. They're experiencing levels of gender dysphoria. Somebody that is trained, somebody that is certified, somebody that knows how to deal with these situations, somebody that is so good at dealing with these situations that they made a professional career that they're going to retire off of, hopefully at the age of 65, is like probably like the most preferable thing ever. I mean, listen, if I had a brother that was experiencing gender dysphoria, I would feel like significantly more like confident and comfortable of that brother instead of absolutely confiding in me or absolutely confiding in our parents, also confided in a licensed professional, right? A counselor that can talk to them about those things. And I think that will only produce the very best outcomes for the future because the counselor listens, okay? Right?
Yeah.
I think that we could agree that most of the parents in this country are not really going to listen or even know what the fuck their kid is talking about when their kid is maybe talking to them about a sense of an experience of gender dysphoria.
But that's not like, I send my kid to public school to learn math and English and science. Like, the parenting is, like, I have a son, and, you know, the parenting
But the reality of it is that it comes along with so much more than that. I wrote a paper on this when I was in high school. This was my junior year. I was very young. I wrote a very long paper about how the social services of my public school sucked ass, and we had like 2 suicides every single year, and how we could absolutely reduce that and hopefully eliminate it if the students at that school had a readily available public and professional resource to confide in about the way that they were feeling to hopefully overcome it. And guess what? Now, because of that paper that I wrote and other individuals involved at the school, they have an official mental health office. And for whatever reason, parents can test that mental health office. And it's probably for the same reason that you do. My county is 75% Trump supporters. But those resources should absolutely be readily available and offered to our youth. And I think the fact that you want to close that door for our youth and say that our youth shouldn't have free and readily available public health, mental health resources backed by accredited licensed professionals is terrible. Like, I hope that you're not pro-life, right? Like,
No.
Like you're not. Like,
I'm
you're
not pro-life. No, I'm not pro-life.
That was supposed to be a joke, and now I just look like okay. That was supposed to be a joke. Never mind. But respond to what I'm saying.
Well, but also the one thing that I'll say, keep in mind, is the amount of time that kids spend at school, right? I mean, and not necessarily just talking about class, but the ancillary time around, you know, whether it's in the morning and the afternoon, school activities, all of these other things, and for you to say that you would want to eliminate them to have access to, you know, said counseling when they spend a majority of their time there and they build bonds outside of their home, outside of their, you know, parents, like you're taking away a valuable resource that they actually need that can help them in difficult situations. And she's a teacup now.
And then last point, mental health goes directly with a one-to-one, a perfect positive correlation between mental health and performance in school, right? Should our school systems be providing our young youth and students with everything that they need to excel?
Yes, but if we're gonna also give those
well,
kids,
mental
like,
health resources are something that a lot of students can use to excel.
in my school had that. Like, when I went to high school, there was mental health. They were certified. And, you know, if I went there, my mom was notified that I was there. They didn't talk about anything else. HIPAA and everything.
Wait.
But,
so I'm pretty sure that A, if that no longer happens, I'm fine with that. But B, it's possible that like a parent could be notified about a student seeking counseling without being informed of the specifics. But I just want to clarify. I'm completely fine with just like the status of being a mandatory reporter upheld. You know, like if there's if there's a threat to the child's life, you know, that's going to be reported to like the police and the parents. That's awesome. But like not about the specifics. But I think it's like important to like kind of keep in mind that like kids tell therapists things their parents don't know all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good thing because a lot of kids don't want to tell the parents everything. But is this seriously why you support the fascists? You know, you just want to like decrease the quality of the life for our youth and reduce the resources that our youth has available to flourish and be successful?
Um.
The hesitation is wild.
Yeah, no, it's tough because at the same time, like I'm not like, oh, Trump's a great president, and but at the same time, I'm also not saying Kamala is a great choice either.
Kamala.
It was more just like, sorry, I'm so sorry. That is my, it's my own.
Can we get an argument here?
I think it's just, it's mostly because I feel like the Democratic Party is almost trying to take more control, like the government wants more control in people's lives than Republicans do. I'm not saying Trump is a good image of that.
That's false. Republicans want so much control that they think they should be able to determine what a woman can do with her body in reference to their medical health providers in the first 20 weeks of pregnancy, when I find there to be absolutely nothing morally wrong about access to abortion. And seemingly you agree, you told us you were pro-choice, so you see no good reason to restrict a woman's access to abortion. And a violation of one's bodily autonomy without good reason is a human rights violation, meaning that the Republicans want so much control and power of the government that they think they should be able to infringe upon the human rights of our own citizens and non-citizens, by the way, as Donald Trump did to Abrigo Garcia when he deported him unconstitutionally, violating his human and constitutional right to due process. And when corrected by the Supreme Court, he said he does not care. Okay, I think it is evidently clear that the Republican Party has become the party of control, has become the party of oppression, and the party of directing your life in a negative direction just because they think they have the right to do so because of the traditional values in which have always been unfounded.
And let's not forget that not only are they trying to take control, more power, but they're coalescing the power under the executive branch. They're specifically even trying to pass legislation in the big, beautiful bill that would give the executive branch somewhat power to deny the courts. I mean, it's the power that they're trying to, not only are they trying to control people, but they're trying to put all the power under one branch and then assert that power.
By the way, the first and only argument you've given so far was advocating for more government control. The government should be able to control what a counselor does or doesn't say to the parents of a child that comes to them for resources.
No, I'm not saying the child shouldn't go to the counselor. I'm just saying that a parent should know
Why?
if they don't have to know exactly what's happening or anything. They don't. Like, you just say, hey,
your point was advocating that the parents should know exactly what's happening.
No.
No. You specifically said that they could go to counselors and talk to them about gender dysphoria without their parents being notified that they're talking to them about gender dysphoria. Stop shifting the goalposts. I've been live for 3.5 hours. I'm not going to take it.
Okay, 1 second.
Also, what happens? What happens when? What if there's a case where the actual kids don't have the best structure at home, right? I mean, if they don't necessarily have, either parents aren't as attentive as they should be, or maybe they are like working parents. Maybe it's a single parent household who has to work multiple jobs, because we understand that most Americans have to have more than one job just to sustain a certain level of living. But if they are unable to be the everything that the child needs, I mean, wouldn't you want to give that child access to a counselor that could actually hear their needs if for some reason their parent isn't as available as they should be? I mean, that just seems like a bonus.
The thing that scares me the most is that the bill that, I don't know if it's been signed yet, but the bill that is on the table is saying that they don't have to tell the parent anything. Even if they went to the counselor, they don't have to tell the parent a single thing. One day, my kid just can come home and,
What's the name of the bill?
It doesn't have to be about transgender. It could just be about anything else, like just mental health.
And why does this make you vote for Trump? Explain it to me. Explain it to me like I'm 5.
I'm taking off the mask.
No, it's less of wanting to vote for Trump and more of like
So this
I
makes
don't
you
want
support Trump?
No, it it's less of wanting to support Trump because that's not anything he's doing.
Okay,
you know?
so then
He's
this whole
not-
time
he's
we've
not
been talking
stopping
about.
that.
So then this whole
But
time
it's
we've been
more
talking about
of,
something
like,
that
the
doesn't relate to the
Democratic Party
fucking
is something
topic of
I
the
don't align
stream.
with.
Sorry, I'm gonna kick you because of the baby. That's A, to save me because I don't want to hear baby screaming, and B, because go take care of the baby.
Even the baby didn't like the argument. The baby's like, "What are you talking about? Like you just said that."
Yeah. What's up, Jack? Are you MAGA? Okay, Jack's not here. Everybody, we're going to move on to the next guest. Let us know down below in that chat if you're MAGA and you want to come up here and debate, y'all. Let's go to get the next guest up in the guest literally right now. Wow. All right. Yeah, everybody, we got the next guest loading up into the stream as we speak, everybody. And the next guest is loading into the stream as we speak. I would like to thank, let's see here. Abby, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Appreciate you so much for the love, as well as Briley with a 15 on Venmo, and Daniel with the, Danielle. Yeah, Daniel with the $10 on Venmo as well. Shout out to Briley and Daniel, everybody. Please show them some love while we get the next guest connected into the stream. And go ahead and drop a MAGA down below in that comment section if you would like to come up and debate.
Also, Lovey, thank you for the 5. I'll definitely stop by and I'll make sure that I let both of them know about it as well. So thank you for the 5.
All right, we're going to get that next guest up in here right now, everybody. And let's see here. Alondra, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal. Shout out Alondra. Light said, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay. Do you support Trump? And they left. Blake, do you support Trump? Blake? Has stage fright. Oh, hi, how old are you?
19.
I don't believe you. Lucy Goosey, do you support Trump?
Oh my gosh, I love you. I love you so much.
I'm gonna guess that. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that that does not mean that you support Trump. So we're gonna move on to the next guest, Christie. Since you an invitation, I'd love to chat.
Hello?
Sup? Are you British?
No, I'm not British. I'm American.
What time is it?
It's like 5.
It's like 5. What state are you in?
Huh?
What state are you in?
Has to be California.
I'm in Kentucky.
Kentucky. Ooh, Kentucky. Is Kentucky Mountain Standard Time Zone? I don't know. I don't think so. Kentucky's EST.
I was gonna say I'm in Mountain and I'm in New Mexico, so yes, I am MAGA supporter.
Okay, Christy, and you said that you're 48?
Yep.
Okay, and your bio says, let's read this together. I'm like that first shot of scotch. Some enjoy it, some tolerate it. Okay. Are you near like a fan or an AC unit? We got.
I am. Hold on one second.
Also, it's almost 7 in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's EST. So while you're moving away from that fan, I really would like to thank Adam for the $50 donation over at PayPal. Let's get 500 Adam W's. Holy shit. Adam says this was in relation to the last convo. In middle and high school, I wish I'd used counseling services about my sexualities. When I told my mom in middle school that I thought I was gay, she said I wasn't and to keep it to myself. Precisely, Adam. Fucking precisely. And that story rings true for millions of people in this country. Thank you for the donation, Adam. But Christy, take it away. Why do you support the orange taco lunatic?
Orange taco lunatic. First off, I love how you call him names right away. Can you just say our president? Because that's exactly what he is.
Sure, our lunatic, deranged, orange, menacing
How is he a
fascist.
lunatic? How is he a lunatic?
Oh, for sure. He raped a woman, and then when the woman held him liable, he called for her to be thrown in jail. Dude, he boasted about walking into the changing rooms of naked teenagers and then said that it's something he could get away with. He sexualized a 10-year-old girl.
First off, he went backstage, and that was for everybody that was going backstage to help with the
No, he said he went backstage when they didn't have access. But also, if you want to talk about him being a lunatic, you can speak to the fact that for some reason he is obsessed with sharks and batteries, windmills, wells, and Arnold Palmer's junk. That's weird.
Before we move on to that, I just want to talk about the backstage thing a little bit. In like a sentence or less, what is your claim about the claim that I made of him like perving on changing teenagers and women?
That he was never back there with unchanging. He was not back there where they were changing.
Okay, Chrissy. I'm a gambling man. I'm gonna bet you money that you're wrong.
What do you want to bet?
Whatever you're willing.
I don't have money, so again, I don't know what you want to bet. We can bet something else. So just for shits and giggles, bring it up.
Or shiggles, as I like to say.
God damn it. Okay,
Yeah.
How about this? Can we gamble your support for Trump?
No.
So you're telling me that you'd still support him if like you
That's
knew...
too high of a price, Dean.
Wait, I just want to clarify.
No.
You'd still support
Here's the
him if,
thing.
like... Wait, Christy, I just want to clarify. You'd still support him if you knew that he like perfed on naked teenagers? What?
No. If he perved and he turned around and went into these locker rooms and did what any gross male would do, then you can prove that to me.
If I did, would you still support him?
No.
Okay, Chrissy, and everybody watching, here's what's about to happen. So keep in mind, everybody, take a mental note that Chrissy down here said that she would no longer support Trump if I could prove that Donald Trump perved on naked changing teenagers and women backstage where no men were at Miss USA and Miss Teen USA. Christy, I'm going to prove it to you, and then you're going to walk back on your words, and you're going to find some excuse to justify you like contradicting yourself in 30 seconds from now and stating that you still support him. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Okay, but just keep in mind, you say now that if I prove it to you, you won't support him.
Prove it to me,
after,
Dean.
After I prove
it
to
me.
I know that...
Prove it to me.
Just
prove it to me.
After I roll the clip...
Okay, I'm a woman of my word, hun.
No, you're not. I'm going to roll the clip.
Wow.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed? No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, you know, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with the vagina.
And what you can also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, you know, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. You know, I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
All right, what's it going to be? Give me the mental gymnastics. Come on.
No, that's disgusting. I've never heard that before.
So you no longer support him?
No, that is absolutely fucking disgusting. I have never in my life heard that before. Never in my life have I ever heard that before.
I'm shocked.
And I'm a 3-time Trump supporter.
This is a first.
Nope. I don't put up with that bullshit. No, fuck that noise. I'm sorry. I don't. Nope.
What is mass? Well, have you ever heard of those mass religious experiences? I think there's one in Christianity called the Miracle of the Sun. There's a gathering of a couple thousand people, and they all saw the same miracle of a picture of Mary in the sun. Have you heard about that before?
Yeah. You know what? Let's just put it this way. Okay, I host
like
numerous lives. No, listen to this, Dan. Okay, I host numerous lives, all right? And I'm going to tell you this right now. As of now, when I get off of here and I go and I host my lives, this will be brought up. In fact, if you could give me a link that I can pull this up.
Wait. So do you host political lives?
Yes, I do.
You do, and you're a Trump supporter that hosts political lives.
That is correct.
So you're a Trump supporter that hosts political lives on TikTok.
That is correct, and I have over 9,000 followers. You can look at my bio.
So how long have you been hosting these lives? Was it before the election?
Yeah, about 3 years.
Hey man.
Okay. Wait, Dean, she's lying.
I'm not gonna.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Look at my bio. Go look at my profile. Go look at everything.
No.
Why would I fucking lie?
No.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna fight for Christie here. Why? Why am I gonna fight for Christie here? Because this doesn't happen every day. I am actually I'm on Christie's side with this one. Christie, I very rarely get Trump supporters that will come up here and tell me that they're absolutely disgusted by something like that. And that
I've never heard it. In fact, like I said, Dean, I actually would love the link to that because I want to use
You haven't heard that, and you've been hosting
No.
political lives for
I
3
have
years,
never-
and
I
no
have
one has ever brought that
never
up to
heard
you.
No one has ever brought that up to me. No one has ever put specifically. They claim it, but no one has ever given me the audio.
Wait, so you've heard it? You've heard it, but no one's played the audio for you.
No one's claimed the audio.
But you've
no
heard
one's
the
played
claim.
the audio. I have heard the claim. And that's why I came up
Got
and
it.
jumped at him
Okay.
right away. And then he came back with
Okay.
the claim and came back and said
I'll,
it to me.
I'll
I'm
accept
sorry.
that part. I thought you were saying you had never heard the claim. I apologize.
No. I've
Okay.
heard the claim, and that's why I came up here and I came back at him. And then he said, if you show me, so then I'm being
Okay.
supportive on this.
That's fair. That's fair.
In fact, my daughter told me to come up here, so I'm up. She's sitting here jumping for joy right now.
Hey man, I'm gonna ride for Christie on this one. I'm getting flamed by both of my chats for doing it. But I'm gonna ride with Christie on this one. I think it's awesome that you're willing to listen to that clip and say that is just disgusting, that is terrible, and that is something terrible, and that you no longer.
That was
support 'em.
something different. It was something completely. See, here's my thought process of it. When I had first heard about it, I had thought that it was like the one banter talking in the locker room of grabbing the woman by the, you know what I mean, and all that bullshit talk and whatnot. This is different. This is completely different.
Well, I what I'll say about that is that they fall in the same category, and that is a complete lack of a shit to give for the feelings, the comfortability, the safety, the sanctity of women and girls. Okay? Right? And I think that this falls right in line with the same trend that we have always seen from him of not giving a single fuck. But you know what, Christie? As I said, I'm going to give you a load of grace. More grace than most people watching are probably willing to give you. And I'm sure I'm going to get some shit for that. I really appreciate that you listened to that.
And I appreciate it. I'm gonna give you your props too, because you know what, you're doing your due diligence up here, and I really appreciate that.
So the way you could find that video is by going on YouTube and typing in Donald Trump's crude talk on the Howard Stern show, and you will find a 2-minute and 5-second clip of the Howard Stern radio show that published on CNN's YouTube channel 8 years ago with 400,000 views. And this is an audio recording from the Howard Stern radio show on April 11th, 2005. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that the conversation is over now.
It is, and I appreciate you having me up, and thank you for. Wow, I'm gonna have to do a lot of soul searching here. This is a whole different aspect.
Well, have a good one, Christie.
You too, Dean.
We're gonna move on to the next guest, but I gave her a lot of grace, chat.
A lot, way more than I would. Dean, you are a saint compared to me.
Way more than a lot of the chat. So what I'll ask, if there's anybody watching, she said she does lives. If you happen to see one of her lives, and she goes back to being, pro-Trump, let me know and flame the shit out of me. I'll admit fault, and I'll say I was wrong. Okay, all right. Hold me accountable if I end up just being completely delusional. Okay, hold me. I'm not even joking. Yeah.
That was a ton of grace.
I'm just really proud, man. I don't get that a lot from Trump supporters.
I get it.
I don't. And in a sense, I personally hold to the position that 99% of Trump supporters that still exist because they are dead set in their ways, right? Yeah. They're not going to change. And when I see somebody that's willing to say, you know what, I was wrong, God, being willing to look at those people and say, that's awesome that you've been able to admit that is the only way that our country is going to progress in a material way, with shifting more people over to the light side, to the right side. And I think that's important. But Jay Tracy, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Nah, I'll do that.
Okay, we are just looking for Trump supporters. Everyone, just give us a minute to get that likely last Trump supporter of the day up in here.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
Guys, just for the people watching, and I know you may see me and you say, hey, it's Santana. I follow Santana. Guys, this is the alternate account. My main account is in purgatory for right now. So if you thought you were following me and you possibly are not, make sure you hit the follow button. It should be in the corner of the screen. Just click the follow, and you can follow me that way.
Yeah, drop him a follow, guys. Santana's awesome. Let's see here. Wayne, Wayne, thank you so much for the $100 again over on Venmo. Jeez. Wayne, you've been popping off today. Guys, let's show some love to Wayne down below in the chat for the $100. I do not deserve that whatsoever. You are so incredibly kind. Huge shout out to motherfucking Wayne the GOAT. All right? Wayne the absolute GOAT. And let's go and get that next guest up in here. Thank you so much for the love, Wayne. Huge shout out. Huge shout out to Wayne. Thank you so much for the love. We also got Parker loading in. What's going on, man?
Hey, Parker.
What's up? What's up?
Nice cowboy hat.
I know, right? right as I joined. How's everyone's day been?
It's been all right. You know, it's I'd say that the last 2 days I've had the most insufferable idiots alive joining. You know, of course we've still had some insufferable guests today, but a little bit more sufferable than
Dean just converted someone real time, like amazingly.
Love that. Just right now. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see. We got to see.
We get some W Deans in the chat. W Dean.
What's up, Ross? Do you support Trump? We're okay. Ross isn't here. Let's go and get that next Trump supporter up while we are. Lauren, thank you so much for the $25 over on PayPal. They say, as a therapist, children should have access to mental health services without the parents' knowledge because it's our job to be a safe space, and sometimes parents aren't a safe space. Yeah, you know, it's your job to say, hey, no matter what the concern, the qualm, or the question is, if you come to me, I'm going to give you a good faith, honest, and non-violent, non-abrasive response to what you have to say. So, you know, we're not turning children away from those resources, and maybe mandatory reporting of anything and all things in which are said, or even the fact that contact was made, is something that will turn children away from those resources, you know? Yeah, but hey, man, if you're watching and you like what you see, you support the stream, and you want to continue to see these streams running for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you want to support me because of that, my Venmo, my PayPal are in the link tree in the TikTok on the bio. In the bio on the TikTok, sorry, I said that backwards. As well as if you're watching over on the YouTube stream, you could find my Venmo, my PayPal through the pin message or link in the bio. But let's go and get the last Trump supporter of the day up onto the stream, guys.
You're already on the last debate?
Yeah, no, we've been live for 3 hours and 46 minutes. Honestly, yeah, it's gone by fast today.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
Not me getting on at the very end. That's actually crazy. That happens sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I do limit myself to 4 hours a day. If I go beyond that, I don't think of these streams as like, it becomes more of like a burden compared to something that I love to do.
I don't see how you guys go that long anyway. Like 3 is a lot for me.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Kyla, what's up? Are you MAGA?
Yeah, I am.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
You're 19. Oh, you were just up. You're the British person, right?
No,
Okay, what time is it?
it's 4 o'clock.
Are you in Kentucky?
I'm not in Kentucky. I'm in Phoenix.
Is this guys, chat, is this the same person?
I've literally just joined your live now. It's a bit unfair if you kick me if I've just joined. I haven't done anything wrong.
I'm getting gaslit. Goodbye. Sid with the $10 saying, King, I sent you something a bit ago. Oh, Sid, let me check it. I'm so sorry, Sid. Let me check. Oh, you did. Sid with the $25 saying, hey, did you hear about the pro-Israel targeted terror attack today that happened in Colorado?
I was just about to ask you, did you see that? It's in Boulder.
What?
The FBI is investigating it right now. Well, I was going to wait, but yeah.
Wait, what happened?
It was, they're investigating. They're saying they think it's a terrorist attack that occurred in Boulder.
Like, what was the terrorist attack?
I haven't, like, it popped up on my phone since I've been here 21 minutes ago, so I haven't got the chance to read it, but the article pulled up for me on the Hill.
I can read right now on AP.
Kidding me? Like, I'm so sorry. Like,
do you want me to read that right now?
Like 80%.
It says several victims. It was at the, it's near 13th and Pearl Street.
Oh my God, it was on Pearl.
Suspect in custody, no identity listed yet. There was a incident occurred near a peaceful pro-Israel demonstration. FBI is investigating it. They're saying they're not calling it a terrorist attack just yet because they haven't determined the actual reasoning. Trump has been told about it at the White House. It happened at 1:26 p.m. multiple people injured.
And some may have set a fire outside an outdoor mall in Boulder.
Yeah, so
Two
the
centimeters taken in
outdoor mall.
custody.
So the outdoor mall is Pearl Street. So Pearl Street is an outdoor mall.
And the FBI immediately described it as a targeted terror attack.
Yeah, but now it seems like they're trying to walk back on saying that. But yeah,
Okay, yeah,
because I saw that at first.
I
That's
probably
what AP News at least reported. So
shit. I need to like go and like call my buddies and my family. I mean, you know, I lived in Boulder for like 2.5 years, and the only reason I moved out of Boulder back to where I'm at now was for lower rent and less distractions. But you know, I have a lot of family, and I mean, hundreds of friends, hundreds of acquaintances that live out of Boulder.
That's why I was waiting to actually say that especially because you were like, well, one more, and I was gonna wait. But yeah, I just saw it not too long ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay. Yeah, thank you for telling me. Yeah, after I get off live, I'm probably gonna call around to a couple of my buddies and see what's going on. You know.
Yeah.
Geez, I mean, I hope like, you know, anybody that got hurt is okay, man. I mean, that's terrible.
crazy.
It's like that's
Yeah,
really terrible.
they said they're taking a lot of people. Well, a lot of people went to the hospital.
Yeah.
So.
Man. Jeez, that's. I mean, I really hope that you know, nobody died or anything. That'd be really bad. We're gonna go ahead and get the next guest up in here, everyone. Everyone, just gonna give us a minute, guys. Do be patient while we get that next guest up on the stream. Last guest of the day.
Dean, what do I do? Do I go on my main account or do I go on my girlfriend's account? For today?
I don't know, man. What have you seen bitter success on?
Neither. Yeah, they both have drawbacks.
I mean, I like the ones from TikTok Studio streaming off the computer, but I'm probably
I like that too,
bias.
but it's not on my main account, so it doesn't push out as much.
I was looking at your stream quality. It looked a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
And on top of that, wait, do you have a capture card?
I do.
Okay. I
didn't have it yet. Now I do because it had to get it in the app. Does that make sense? Or get it within the studio?
Yeah.
Well, a capture card won't help with streaming though. That's your GPU and your CPU.
So a capture card for a camera could basically take it from being like an antiquated.
You're meaning for like actually like camera wise?
Yeah. So you plug the camera into a capture card.
Yeah, I know.
So then you could import like super high quality HDMI 4K.
I can do that. I can do that with 1080p camera.
Anyways, that's Elijah. That's a random guess. Hi, Elijah. Do you support Trump?
No, I came in and I wanted to learn some stuff actually, and I came in to ask a question. Do you guys ever? And I know that most everybody, if they're being honest with themselves, do this. When you're trying to support your side, do you ever just leave out a little bit of information just so that you can prove your point more?
No, and the evidence of that is that I've literally, me and Parker have gotten into debates on live before, because.
Or if we do, we'll clarify right after. If we do, we'll clarify right after because it's for a point.
Yeah,
but do you guys do that clarification? Like
this is a space to seek truth, and the evidence of that is even me and Parker have started debating one another.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of the
that
topics
each
you
other
talk
is
about. Okay, but do you ever feel like some of the topics you're debating have good points on both sides, but your side? Because I agree, I'm mostly Democrat. I feel like sometimes
I don't think you do that though. You take a position that you can actually support, no matter what the counter argument.
No, but I'm saying just even a small part. It doesn't have to be a big part that can completely change your argument.
Well, but I think when you say like, is there a good point on the other side? What I hear when you say that is, can I place myself in their shoes and see why they believe what they do?
Yes, yeah. That's what I'm trying to
understand. Sometimes I can do that, but like still yet, right? Because I think what they believe in is false because of the reasons in which I possess. Like I ultimately think it's a bad point. Okay, like I think that good points are true points and bad points are false points.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people that come in and view these, they feel like it's very just argumentative. When I feel like you're just really trying to help people understand, and I feel like though there are some cross points, and you're gonna be like, well, tell me exactly what those cross points are. I know.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry for kicking you while you're in the middle of your breath there. I only have time for one more debate with one more Trump supporter, so we got to get a move on. But I appreciate you nonetheless. Let's go ahead and see if we could get one last guest up in here, as well as Milo with a $3 on Venmo and Andrea with a $5 over on Venmo. I appreciate you, Milo and Andrea. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys.
And Karina, thank you for the 10. And yeah, I'll check in. Thank you.
Dean, how do you get your good webcam on both?
Yeah.
At the same time.
So I think that we had a FaceTime about this a while ago. So I run like the high quality straight from the capture card and camera into OBS. And then through OBS, I start a virtual camera. And it's the virtual camera in which I then pipe into TikTok Studio.
Okay, wait, hold up.
Yeah. What's up, Blue Hat Zach? Do you support Trump?
Do you hear me?
Yeah. Are you British?
No, I'm sick right now. But
Do you support Trump?
I voted for him.
Okay. How old are you?
20.
Oh man, why the hell do you support Trump?
It's one of those things where it's like I'm a 20-year-old like white male. You know what I mean? And it's
whoa. Slow the fuck down. I'm a 20-year-old white male.
What?
I don't know what you mean.
But it's just the fact that the left side is so far left.
The left side is so far on what?
On like facts that like I don't want to get like too offensive to people, but like trans people, the border.
Bro, dude, I hate you. Can I tell you why?
Wait, hear me out. I have a trans friend too.
Stop. Can I tell you why I hate you?
Why?
Because you just essentially said, guess what? I'm a 20-year-old white guy. Gotta hate trans people. And guess what? Undocumented immigrants, they suck too. Stop it! Stop it! No, this is a bad look for me, motherfucker. I'm a 20-year-old white guy. Stop! Dude, come on.
I don't hate trans people. I'm just saying, like, I'm a huge sports fan. You know what I mean? It's just the fact that they're playing in like guys are playing in women's sports.
Can you name one women's sports team?
No, that's not the right question,
team?
Parker.
The Indiana Fever, bro. Like,
cool. Okay, wait. So you like the WNBA?
I mean, like, I'll watch Caitlin Clark.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Name a player that's not on the Fever, that's not Candace Reese, and then plays on any other team in the WNBA. Actually, give me two.
In the WNBA?
Yep, that's not on the Fever, that's not Angel Reese, and that plays within the WNBA.
Honestly, can't.
Oh, so it's really not that important to you.
Zach, I have a counterpoint.
It's more high school teams. It's more high school teams.
I have a counterpoint.
It's not like professional sports. It's more high school teams.
Counterpoint. I have a counterpoint. Are you ready?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
You're like, trans women and women's sports shouldn't happen. Okay, I disagree. But that's not what my counterpoint is. Here's my counterpoint. Donald Trump has been accused of raping more women than there is trans women competing in the NCAA. Donald Trump has been convicted of twice as many felonies as there is trans women in the NCAA. I could articulate as many circumstances where Donald Trump has violated the American Constitution as there is trans women in the NCAA.
Good point.
All right.
Can I just say one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
If
now think about the number of trans women in the NCAA. 16, okay? Now let's multiply that by 1,600. And now let's add 800 to that, 2,200. That is the amount of money that 20% of Americans, the bottom 20% of income earners, will be losing in their after-tax income because of Donald Trump's tax cuts. Boom. Holy shit. See how I'm like directing you to trying to give me an argument that Donald Trump is good for America, not just bad for 0.1% of Americans?
Wait,
I feel like the GOP runs itself off of persecuting minorities and not making the qualities of life in this country better.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, I will say this: I don't think Trump's a good businessman, but I think he's a good salesman. He knows what he's doing on like the sales point of view, and people don't walk over him.
Okay, well, typically like good salesmen are like typically like some of like the worst people. Okay, I've done a lot in my 20 years of life, I've even worked in sales. I'm familiar with salesmen. The best salesmen I know are total pieces of shit.
But it works. If they're successful, it doesn't matter if they're pieces of shit.
So how is he going to use this to generate success for America?
For America, my point is like no one walks on him.
No one walks.
like,
Putin does.
Putin walked on
Yeah,
Biden.
Putin's been stomping on Trump so much, Trump has been begging him to stop. And that's not even a joke. He has literally been begging Putin to stop bombing Ukraine. After he said he could, get it done and over within the first 24 hours in office. And conceded to everything that Putin wanted him to do, such as revoking all humanitarian support for the country.
I'm also not like all Republican. If Trump and Obama would run against each other, I'd go to Obama.
Why would you want either one of them to run? That's violating the Constitution.
No, I don't want that to happen. But if it were to happen, because like,
okay, listen. I mean, I know Obama's the GOAT, but like, Kamala Harris is also pretty damn good. Why would you vote for Obama but not Harris?
I feel like Harris just, it was kind of just like so short her campaign, and I didn't really know what to think of her. She didn't really give me a lot, and I know it's not fair because she didn't have like a lot of time. But like, it's also like I don't want to be like a misogynist, but I just think a man like.
So you are a misogynist. If you say that, you're probably going to say something misogynistic.
Oh, finish your sentence, please.
That's what I was thinking.
No, please, finish your sentence.
I'm just saying, like, since like the beginning of this country has never been a woman president.
Right. Right.
And nothing ever.
Right.
Nothing ever.
Hey, man. I have a thought experiment for you. Imagine you and me, we got into a time machine, we teleported to 2007, and I took you to Alabama. And when you and me were in Alabama, I then drug you by your hand to the front door of Racist Ronald. Racist Ronald opens his front door, and I asked Racist Ronald, are you going to vote for Obama? And Racist Ronald says, no, black people, ever since the dawn of this country, we've always had white presidents. There's never been a black president. And then I said to you, I want you to refute Racist Ronald's argument. What would you say in response?
I honestly don't think race matters. You can do whatever you want. Like, we're all.
Okay. So even though in 2007 there had never been a black president, only white presidents, you'd still argue that race doesn't matter, and you'd vote for a black president because why would it matter? Okay. Well, this is kind of what I'd say to you when you say, since the beginning of this country, we've never had a woman president. Okay, I don't think gender matters. If anything, I mean, the data would tell us that a woman's probably better equipped for the job, but I mean, we'll ignore that. And I'll just simply say that gender is not a relevant determining factor in one's leadership abilities.
It's just like, I don't think. I'm more of like a traditional guy. I think a woman should stay at the house.
Yeah, are you ready to get clocked?
Oh my god, that's so cringe.
No, he's about to get clocked.
Are you? Oh, I've asked him one question.
For sure.
Are you in a relationship currently?
Me? No, I don't want to be.
You don't want to be?
No, guys.
Wait. Shouldn't you be in a relationship and married already? You want to be traditional. What happened to the traditionalism? You don't want to be in a relationship? I thought relationships were traditional.
Can I tell you a story real quick? So after I graduated high school,
heartbreak story number 1.
In 2020,
I'm so sorry to hear that.
And my girlfriend left me of 2 years in high school. Since then, I've had no.
Okay, that's shitty, but don't take it out on everybody else.
No, I'm not.
Listen, I could agree that that was like probably shitty of her to do, to leave you because you got diagnosed with cancer. But she didn't do that because she's a woman. She didn't do that because she has a vagina. She didn't do that because she probably did that because of some shitty attribute of her character. Or there's more to the story that you're not telling us. You know what I mean? I really don't think it's fair for you to say that now I hate women because this one woman did something that was bad. and maybe we don't even know the rest of the story. Maybe it wasn't bad, and she didn't leave you because you had cancer, but she rather left you because you told her that she had to stay at the home and cook, clean, and raise the kids until she died of old age. Like, how about this? I want to ask you a question. Do you agree with Trump and people like Charlie Kirk when they say DEI is terrible? DEI replaces a merit-based country with something that determines what individuals should do because of their race. Like, do you agree with the sentiment that DEI is bad?
I mean,
DEIA.
like, it depends, like, what kind of jobs you're talking about.
I mean, just generally, because like the Trump admin says DEI sucks. Charlie Kirk says DEI is terrible. What do you say? Do you agree with him?
I don't really agree with anybody, to be honest.
That wasn't coherent. I'm just asking you if you think DEI bad, like 99% of other Trump supporters.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. The only person advocating for DEI is you. You're telling women that regardless of their merit or qualifications, they should stay at home. And you're telling men, regardless of their merit or qualifications, that they should go out and work. The only people that argue for this false conception of DEI is traditionalists. You're the one telling people that we should determine what they are or are not capable of doing, or what they should or should not do based upon their gender or sex. That's you, man.
Good point.
It's
Also,
a great
quick question. So, do you believe in like 50-50 bills, like splitting? I mean, like, what's your stance on, paying for dinner and dates and bills?
Oh, I pay for everything. If I take a girl out, I pay for everything.
Okay, so you are in a traditional sense. You think that the man should pay for everything, and not just dates, but like all the bills in the house.
Bills, yeah, that's the way I grew up with my parents.
Okay. So the one thing that I will say is, I mean, and not to get too personal, but I don't know, you're a young man. I would recommend therapy, right? I mean, FYI, I go every Friday. I think the fact that you went through a traumatic life event and you had someone that you cared about leave you has warped your your view on women and how things should be. But I would also say that you're a young man that has the entire world in front of you, and I mean, just actually addressing those issues may actually change your perspective and allow you to realize that women have the ability not only to lead but also to enrich the workplace in multiple ways, including understanding what DEIA is. I mean, you might want to take a look into that as well, but I would just recommend a couple of those things.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that.
One other thing.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the first things that you said when you joined was like, oh, you're a 20-year-old white guy. This somehow implies you should be voting for the right. Do you think that the left has launched an attack on white men?
I wouldn't say like no, but like at the same time, I feel like a lot of men nowadays are getting attacked for like no reason.
Okay, why do you feel that way?
It's just like, I feel like walking around, like people get so offended if they see a white like Christian man in front of them.
Right.
So they argue like for all that, and then the left side's so against that because
you just feel like targeted by a lot of the people in this country, and it's almost as if a lot of the
I just wish we
people-
could come together.
like,
to be honest.
so I just clarify that you just kind of feel like target. Just listen to me. Just listen to me real quick. You just kind of feel like targeted, like subjugated, categorized, and assumed by like a lot of this country just because you're a white man, right?
No, not all of that. Not all of that.
Okay, but you just feel like a lot of the people in this country look at you, they see you're a white guy, and they make a whole lot of assumptions, right? Is that what you're saying?
Sort of.
Sort of. You just kind of feel like people figure out that you're a white guy, and they already just have these biases built within themselves to treat you one way compared to another way. You feel like you're treated different because you're a white man.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Then what are you trying to say? I just want to get a conception of your view, because you said that a lot of the left is like attacking white men.
Yeah, white conservative man. I feel like it's just one of those things where it's like.
Okay, so I guess you just feel. Are you basically saying that you're a man, you're white, you didn't decide to be white, you didn't choose to be a man, but because you are a white man, you're automatically judged by a lot of people.
No.
Oh my God, you don't even have a coherent stance. What the fuck are you saying?
I'm trying to say it's like if you go into like a coffee shop, right? And there's like a barista with like purple hair, bro, and she's gay. It's like,
well, I mean,
just
first
feel-
she's gonna make you the best damn coffee you've ever had. You better shut the fuck up. All right.
Well, I'll take
Now,
that. I'll take
Jesus,
that.
The
what
frat
what
boy
hell are you
accent
saying?
is actually just diabolical.
I'm
Okay.
I'm a little lost.
Yeah, I don't know how we got to like gay women
Purple
when I
hair.
was
Yeah,
asking
like,
you about like
where
why
we
you
at?
feel that the left is attacking white men.
I'm not like, it's just like the left and the right. There's just no common ground at all.
Donald Trump is the most divisive president we've ever had in our modern history. Donald Trump literally targets the states that did not vote for him. I mean, he doesn't want to send money to California for wildfires because it's a blue state. I mean, Donald Trump spreads rhetoric that creates divisiveness, including saying that immigrants are poisoning the blood of America. Donald Trump is the reason why we continue to be so divisive, because he has made it okay to be hateful, harmful, and bigoted. Donald Trump is a racist, sexist, classist person, and you voted for him, and he is the one that continues to perpetuate the very thing that you said that is a problem. That doesn't make sense.
I'm still looking for a way to land my plane on that argument I was making earlier. Feel free to respond to Santana, and then I think I have it figured out. Oh, he left. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys like what I wanted to bring up to him. You know, I was trying to determine like what he meant there by saying that the left attacks white men, and I was hoping to at least get him down to a point where like he thought that the left automatically judged him because he's a white guy. He felt targeted, persecuted, etc. All that, and like the reason why I was trying to get that out of him, or at least to see his thoughts, was because I just wanted to point out the simple fact that that's what he does to women. You know, it's like, I don't know. The thing I see a lot of conservative white men suppose occurs to them of this systemic oppression because of their gender or their race or their sex. Like, that is what is actually happening to women, to minority communities, to trans individuals, to black individuals, etc. Right? And he wouldn't be able to deny it because he argued for it. And like, I don't know, man. I think that this is caused by a lack of education and there just being so many available avenues and pipelines for young men to get pulled into these alt-right circles where they're told they're the most important people alive, where they don't need women, where women suck, and every single time a woman has rejected them in their life, that is one more reason to hate all women. And they'll only continue to get rejected more and more in their life in the future by women because they hold to the beliefs that they do. And it's just this negative, reoccurring feedback loop. And I've been like thinking about ways to get men out of, you know, these thought processes. And I gotta say that I did see something the other day, and I thought it was a great idea. It was this young white guy that was starting a podcast for men, designed for men, and how it's supposed, this podcast is to make the life of men better. But their angle on this podcast is essentially, when you hold to these alt-right beliefs, you know, women are gonna hate you more. Society is, you know, people are gonna look at you like you're crazy because you are. And if you don't want women to hate you, if you don't want people to look at you like you're crazy because you are, then you've got to be a better person and reject these alt-right beliefs. And it's actually better for you as a man. And I think I like that. I think it kind of counteracts it. It like still gives this avenue of basically, you know, better, make yourself better as a man, increase your overall quality of life, excel. But the way that it tells men that they could do these things is by just being the best possible version of themselves and treating everyone else around them better and with respect. I don't know. I'm yapping. I'll stop yapping.
Well, I'll just say, like, I completely agree with you. I think there is a need to find a way to like shift the actual narrative and to explain to people like just because you are a man doesn't mean that you need to be void of emotion, and also understanding that accountability is a huge thing, right? I think that it's easy to sit back and say, oh, it's not my fault. And for people that make, the younger generation feel like, nothing's your fault. You don't have to accept that. You don't have to take accountability. It directly pushes that pipeline. And so I agree. Like as long as we can, one, be more in tune with the actual emotional stance of it, and really allowing people to understand like it's okay to understand your feelings, and two, that things can be tough and you should actually want to go through those tough things instead of just falling back and saying, well, it's just I didn't cause it, none of this is my fault. So I think it's a lot.
Yeah. And like maybe one thing I'd say, because we're done with the debates, but we're just like now kind of talking about the subject of young dudes and how young guys are bad, how young guys can be good and better, etc. If there's any like younger dudes like watching the live, man, that are like in those like circles on the right, they I guess kind of see me shouting about liberalism and being a Democrat. Like the automatic assumption is like, oh, this dude's like lame as fuck, not fun at parties, a total like loser weirdo because he's a Democrat. And the reason why I know that assumption exists is because I used to hold this same assumption against Democratic men when I was like 15, 16 and conservative. I would see like a dude being like, go Dems, W blue, woo, liberalism. And I'd be like, oh, this woke loser must be so boring and unfun. You know what? Fuck him. But I'll say this. From like when I was in those like circles on the right, conservative, pro-Trump when I was younger, to like where I'm at now, my quality of life has increased dramatically. Me personally, only talking about me, nobody else, just me. My quality of life has increased dramatically because when you are a better person to other people are a better person to you, right? And I also happen to be like talking from a perspective where my girlfriend is somebody that I've been on with now for over a year, a very long time, but on and off with for like 5 years, a very long time. Me and my girlfriend have been together, and I have a better relationship with her now than I did when I first met her, because I'm able to treat her better as a person, as a partner, as a woman, right? And that has good outcomes for you as well. It's almost like it's advantageous. It's strategically advantageous for you to reject people like Nick Fuentes, to reject people like Andrew Tate, to reject the alt-right path, the alt-right, like lines of thought, and to embrace liberalism, embrace progressivism, and be more critical about how you could be a better person. And it'll end up making like you happier. It'll end up giving you more confidence in yourself. It'll end up giving you a higher quality of life, better relationships with those around you. And regardless if you're gay or straight, it'll make you more appealing in the dating pool. It'll give you significantly easier time.
Happy Pride Month.
I was just about to say that. I have to call my best friend. Yep, happy Pride Month.
Yeah, and happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. It'll just give you an easier time in like so many avenues. I don't know. One of these days, I kind of want to like sit down on a podcast that isn't like politically oriented, where I'm just kind of debating Trump supporters, but more so just talking about like the conundrum of young men and how to get them going on the right path. Because I don't know, I think about it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, yeah, I'm done. We're done with the stream today. We're all just kind of yapping now.
Yeah, I got it to work, Dean. I got it to work. It finally is. I figured out how to do the virtual camera thing.
Dude, fire. That'll be nice. Make sure that your like lighting is good. I think I have noticed like there's a big correlation between like the quality of your stream, how like the lighting is, if you have a high quality, because
it was because I was using the C920, my old C920.
C920, what's that?
Logitech C920.
Oh, you were just using a webcam?
Yeah,
Oh,
as the one for
Parker.
TikTok.
Wait,
No, because
wait, do you
because I
guys,
didn't have the virtual webcam.
Dean, what do you use? Because I use a webcam as well, but I bought like this, really fancy one.
Dude, let me show you real quick. My setup is my setup is insane. I'm not gonna lie.
I use like a camera. I have the same setup as Dean.
Yeah, I've like my setup is like quite professional. But I'm a full-time content creator. It's expected. It's been a lot of work, a lot of fucking money, but I'm at a point where it's great. I'll show it to you. I'm actually pulling up my second account right now so I could turn on the camera and give a little bit of a setup to her. Just looking for that second.
Yo, Sid with $100 on YouTube super chat for Hi Parker. Happy Pride Month, all. Yo, thank you. Give me some W's for Sid in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Sid. I really appreciate it. W's for Sid in the comment section right now. Thank you so much.
I can't even find dude.
W said, good to see you as always, Sid.
I can't even find my account on the
Because there's so many people. Yeah.
Oh, dude, the guest request function sucks on TikTok Studio.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And it moves a lot.
Oh my god, it's impossible to control.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say, chat, earlier, I think I said Candace Reese. I was thinking Candace Parker and Angel Reese. So just an FYI, I my bad, but I do know who Angel Reese is, and I also know Candace Parker, and I also know that she's no longer she retired. So there's that.
I
You're
can't,
good, you're good.
bro. Dude, I'm trying my hardest right now to get my second account up here. That's why when I was going live on the DNC Dean account and I'd get my main account up here, I would always. Oh wait, Parker, you have moderation access, right?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I was
able to get it up here.
All right, yeah. Let me show you guys the setup.
Expand yourself.
I will. Here we go. Expand. Always. Oh, wait, Parker, you have moderation. All right, yeah. Let me show you guys the setup. The big monitor, and the big monitor is connected to a PC beneath my feet. But anyways, so on the left we have the TikTok studio where we're broadcasting to the app. And then on the right, we have the OBS that broadcasts to YouTube. And then over here, I have the laptop. And I use the laptop for all researching, Venmo, PayPal, etc. And yeah, that monitor is very far away. I have it scaled up by 1 billion so I could still read it even though it's 1 billion years away. And then we have the camera right in front. We have a fill light that I don't use anymore. But then we look at that big old light.
Was that the background light?
Yeah, I don't use that anymore. And then one big old light to the left, and this is my main light. And then to the right, we have another big old light, and that's the studio. It's pretty nice. It's been getting worked on, planned, and been a long time coming. Finally got it to a point where I think it's pretty nice.
This is the camera that I use whenever I use Studio. Let's see here. Flip this around. So I use a webcam, and I thought that purchasing an actual really nice webcam would be worth it. But it still doesn't look like the quality of what you use.
Yeah.
And so that's where I am. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things that go into the quality of the stream. So it's the camera, right? But on top of the camera, it's also the lighting. I'll say probably the most important thing for a high quality streaming setup. It's not even the camera. Number one is lighting.
Yep.
And it's not even just having big high lumen super crazy lights that cost me $250 per month in my energy bill. It's also knowing the right setting to put them on, where to place them, and then how far away the lighting is from the background, what you have in the background contrasted to the foreground.
You know what? That makes sense. That does
lot.
explain the energy.
Yeah.
I was looking at my energy bill. I was like,
You, dude, right? I had the same experience. I look at my energy bill and I'm like, there's no way this is right. This is insane. It's the big ass lights that we use for 4 or 5 hours, 7 days a week. That's what it is.
I have 6 lights. but like I have the smaller ones, and they're just like all around. But I think you just hit it like with the placement. I'm still trying to figure out my placement, and then like I have the green screen behind me, but my office is like a small area, so.
Also, Brianna, thank you for the galaxies. I just
I'll have to
finally
show
saw
you
the
all
chat.
ours.
Thank you.
We have
Thank
the
you,
same
Brianna.
two lights. They're really good.
Yeah, and then
You
even
can
for
control
the
them, they're fun.
and then even for the lights. So I mean, I did like a deep dive into the lighting for a while. Did a lot of research. So even for the lights, there's a difference. So you have like soft light and hard light. You don't want hard light. You want super
Really?
duper- you want super soft light. So
See, I've been going with the hard light instead of the soft because like it. Okay, I need to switch it.
soft light. So like the biggest diffusers that you could get your hands on, comparing the costs, and also if they even fit in your space. The biggest diffusers you could get is what will give you the best image on camera.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not. So I consulted a professional about this.
Oh.
When I was building the studio, I posted something on my story. I was like, I will pay a professional to help me out, to build everything, to figure it out. And then I ended up talking to some guy that just did it for free, just because he was awesome, and rejected any form of payment. And he is a professional film, video dude, camera dude, lighting dude, studio guy. Does it for his career. His name is Justin. Justin is an icon. And Justin helped me like figure out the shopping cart, the setup, and everything. And Justin's just an absolute beast. Okay, so if you happen to be watching, Justin, know that you're awesome.
Are you about to get off right now, man?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just yapping. I guess I could.
Bro's just yapping. That's crazy.
I could end whenever. I guess this has gone from like debates into like a yap.
Into Dean yap mode.
Yeah.
One last thing.
It's just like
so
debates.
I have a capture card as well, but I don't run through the capture card. And I thought you were saying like run the webcam through the capture card, but it would be like the actual camera through the capture card.
Yeah. So the webcam has a capture card built into it.
Yeah.
It's all like proprietary, so you don't need anything extra.
Mhm.
But with like your digital or mirrorless cameras, they don't have a capture card built into it. So like when you just plug it in like USB to your computer, like most of the time, like cameras aren't even going to have any software that you could download to import that and get like a live feed. But if they do have a software that you can install and get a live feed from the camera, it's going to be super low quality and it's going to be very delayed. But the advantageous part of getting the capture card is so you could port it into the computer with no delay, and it's pulling through HDMI. And if you have a nicer camera, it'll be able to port out HDMI at like a 4K quality. So it gives you like the lowest delay and the highest quality.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now you guys are in the chat spamming debate, dude. I did 4 hours. No more.
You're
more
stuck.
debates.
You're stuck. You got to keep doing debates.
Somebody says debate, please. This is so boring. Oh my god, dude, I'm getting flamed. Okay, I'm sorry. Chat. That's right. I mean, I guess
debate. What the fuck's wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, when I go live, I guess I do usually go debates. Do debates. I'm a real person too, quite frankly. Now, I'm done with the debates for the day because we've done a little over 4 hours. But I know Parker isn't. Santana, are you hopping off as soon as I end? Or are you gonna?
I'm gonna follow Parker for a little while. Then the wife and I have to go to dinner, so I'm gonna hang out with him until she gets here.
Sweet. Well, no more debates for me, but Parker and Santana down here will be doing some more debates. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and end. Yap sesh is over. I'll tune back in tomorrow for another 4-hour fucking yap sesh. Holy shit, I talk so much. Oh, I talk so much. It's terrible. I need to stop talking now and go get some dinner. So, Parker, what live are you gonna go? What account are you gonna go live on?
Parker got a GF.
Okay,
but I'm live on TikTok. Parker got to get a job.
So everybody head over to @ParkerGetAGF on TikTok or @ParkerGetAJob over on YouTube. I will see y'all tomorrow for another 4-hour yap
See you,
sesh.
bro. See you, bro.
Peace and love, everybody.
Another yap set. Right now, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? What's good, everyone join the live right now? Camera quality looks so good. It should. That was the goal for today, actually. Was to fix it and to make it look better. How does it look on TikTok, everyone? How does it look on TikTok? The quality's good. Quality is great. Nice to hear. Nice to hear. We're gonna start getting some debates very, very soon. Getting some debates very, very soon. How's everyone doing, though? How's everyone doing? We're gonna start getting some debates up here in a second. Make sure to tap the screen here on YouTube. Zoom. You know, I could zoom out actually. But yeah, happy Pride to everyone. Happy Pride to everyone. Hopefully everyone's had a fantastic day so far. Hopefully everyone has. I've had some good time just chilling. We're gonna start getting some debates for a bit. I know Santana's gonna hang out with us for a little bit before he has to go. I do know that. But what's up, everyone? What's up? You know, maybe I should try to, you know, that's actually fun. This is fun. Slight zoom while keeping off center. Yeah, maybe zoom out and like move to the left a little bit. I guess I could. Let me try actually. Let's try it. Let's try it. You know, maybe I'll screw it up, but let's try it. Okay. Oh. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good at all. That looks horrible, chat. Oh my gosh. Let me. Oh, wait. If I sat like right here. This is horrible. Oh my gosh. Hold up. 1 second, chat. 1 second. I'm trying to think what. There we are. Oh, you can see my stuff. Well, all right. Let me zoom in a little bit. I think it looks better when that's in the background on TikTok. But the issue is that it looks worse on YouTube. You are so far away. So here's what I'm going to do for YouTube. Watch this. Oh my, hold up. I'm fucking it up. We're going to do this. Is that good on YouTube? I think that's a pretty good combo. All right. I think is that good? Looks good? All right. Let me actually do this. I'll sit a little bit closer. It looks like we're fine. Ernie. That's funny. All right, we're going to start getting some debates here. I can't really zoom out on TikTok. I can go like this. But yeah, that's fine for now. All right, we'll get some debates up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote for Donald Trump. We are just looking for some debates. What's up, everyone joining in? How's everyone doing? Is Santana gonna join? Does Santana actually even know what account I'm on? Yeah, it is a little bit too close. Like, damn, I don't even know what to do to fix this. Because it looks so far away. I don't even know how to fix it. It looks so far away on TikTok or on YouTube, but not on TikTok. It's kind of weird. It's like super close. Yeah, I don't know how to fix it. Full screen, fit to screen. I guess it just does that. Yeah. Damn, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll figure it out. I'm sorry I'm close. All right, we're going to start getting some debates up here. All right, what's up, everyone? Work in progress, right? Alrighty. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
30.
Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
Why so?
Well, I mean, there's a whole bunch of reasons. Let's start with misinformation surrounding the alleged essay.
Misinformation? You mean the factual evidence indicating that Donald Trump sexually abused Eugene Carroll?
Okay, so what was the evidence that was used?
Yeah, so we can point to the fact that, one, there was a unanimous decision from a jury, right, indicating that Donald Trump sexually abused Eugene Carroll. We can point to specifically the fact that there was a psychologist that verified the trauma she went through. There were multiple other victims of Donald Trump's essay, specifically that gave their specific stories associated with the case. There was the specific character issue, specifically Donald Trump, where he specifically said he wouldn't have sexually abused her because she's quote-unquote not his type, but then a deposition mistook her with his ex-wife. There was the fact that he wouldn't give up his DNA after multiple years, right, given that he had a multiple year time frame to give up his DNA, just to show that he wasn't at the scene of the crime, right? If he never met her, then that would obviously demonstrate that he wasn't at the scene of the crime, right?
Okay, so now hold on. I asked you what was the evidence that was used. You listed off a couple of things. There was some testimony from some 7 people. There was a dress that had alleged DNA from Donald Trump. Donald Trump at first said no. Donald Trump said no at first, that he wouldn't give them DNA. And then they started pushing hard on the trial. He saw that they weren't just going to back off the trial and that she was going to continue with the falsehoods and the propaganda. So he said, okay, I will give you my DNA. The judge then said, okay, now hold on. Let's just go ahead and exclude the DNA. We don't need DNA. We're just going to take this to trial.
He had multiple
Right?
years.
Is that not what happened? Okay, but here's the deal. If it had his DNA on it, why would he even offer them to take his DNA and test it against that DNA? If it was his DNA, why would he even offer that? Why would that even come to the realm of possibilities? Not to mention the fact that his lawyer would have strictly recommended against that at any point in time, offering that evidence up.
You mean even after the point in which it is the case? Because one, it would just demonstrate that he was at the scene of the crime. Two, as it relates to this, right, he did so after the point in order to delay the process. So him delaying the process was worth more to him. That also doesn't mean that like he didn't.
Then damnation. Okay. So you're saying that him delaying the process meant more.
He knew specifically that.
Hold on.
He knew specifically that his DNA would not get accepted, right, and that they wouldn't even check.
So you're saying that off of a whim, he's just going to take the uncertainty of saying, yeah, sure, here's my DNA. You either test it or not. They're saying that it is his DNA. So that is definitely something that they would have considered at least getting tested against. As in, it's damning evidence. It's evidence that would have 100% been undeniable. Whereas there's not a single other piece of information in the entire case that's undeniable, other than the fact that she says,
So wait, are you saying that you only accept something as evidence if it's undeniable?
As far as beyond a reasonable doubt, sure.
Okay, so no, so you only accept it if it's undeniable.
In that particular situation, you 100% need undeniable, unrefutable evidence.
Okay. So then I'll give an example, right? If it is the case that there was someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, would you let them legally immigrate into the country?
Are we talking criminally liable or civilly liable?
I said civilly liable.
Civilly liable, there would have to be other investigations done to figure out what.
So you would let them. So you would
So
let
in
them
this-
legally
in-
come into the country.
I mean, you're okay with letting MS-13 legally come into the country, right?
No, I'm not. You're okay.
Okay, so
you're
then
okay.
why are you
with-
pleading-
so then, you want to answer my question? Are you okay with them coming to the country? Is someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
No.
Oh, okay. So if you're not okay with it, well then why are you okay with him being president?
Again, okay, so again, let's talk about the case, right? She's saying that this instance happened in one of the most probably popular department stores of the time. Do you even know the name of the department store?
Yes, Bergdorf Goodman.
Okay, perfect. So this is one of the most popular department stores in all of New York City. She's saying that this alleged event happened in the dressing room. Parker, why are they in a dressing room together? If none of this was consensual, why are they in a situation where?
Wait. Are you saying that it is not possible to revoke consent after you specifically have been around them?
Oh, so you're saying that she gave consent?
No, she did not give consent to engage in intercourse. She gave consent to engage in specifically what's it called? Engaging in just like talking to them or being around them or being
really in a dressing room?
Yeah, that's you understand that's not consent to sex, right?
How many women invite you into the dressing room?
Is that consent to sex?
Is that consent to being in private quarters where one person is undressing?
Can you answer the question?
Sure.
Is that consent to sex?
We don't know. We don't know how.
What do you mean you don't know? No. Obviously, it isn't the case that just consenting to go into a dressing room with someone is consent to sex. Clearly,
so, okay,
someone.
So you tell me,
wait.
You tell me
I want you to answer this.
What did she?
Hold up. What specifically? You goddamn it! You're so annoying. You literally spoke so much that I can't even remember what we were referencing. Can you repeat what you were just saying?
Okay, so what I was saying is, why are these two individuals in a dressing room together whenever we know there's only one intention to go into a dressing room, and that's to change clothes, right? So that means that one person is taking off their clothes or both in order to change clothes. So that puts them in an intimate setting where they're now derobed and they're looking at each other in the naked sense, right? So now why is she inviting? Hold on. Okay, so what are the reasons that they go into?
But also,
you understand that you're not always naked in a dressing room, right?
And also, I feel like you keep skimming past or not really engaging with the consent point.
Can I also clarify one more thing as well? Is again, even if it is the case that you're naked, being naked does not mean you consented to sex.
Exactly.
Okay, so then why didn't she? If this alleged event happened and they're in this dressing room in one of the most popular department stores in all of New York City, why did she not make a scene? Why did no one see them going in there?
Are you saying that if someone doesn't make are you saying if someone shuts down when they're being sexually assaulted that they didn't get sexually assaulted?
I'm saying that there's obvious reason to believe that she's lying.
Wait, how is it? Wait. Why do you jump to immediately she's lying if it is the case that there wasn't a quote unquote scene that was made?
Let me ask you this: Do you think?
I want you to answer my questions, or I'm going to kick you from the stream.
Okay, what was your question?
You're saying that it didn't happen if it is the case that she specifically didn't quote unquote make a scene. Why is it the case that it disputes the likelihood that this has happened, given the case that someone, quote unquote, didn't make a scene? Why are you saying that's indicative of her being assaulted or not being assaulted?
So it's not totally the fact that she didn't just make a scene, but in order for them to both come out of this dressing room where she's alleging that she was just SA'd and that it was a huge traumatizing experience for her and all these horrific things, then why is that on nowhere? Why did she not make a police report? Why did nobody inside of Bergdorf Goodman?
Hey, Tommy, you do understand that most you do understand that no, because you're victim blaming. It's weird and it's gross. You do understand that most victims don't actually come forward, right? You do understand that the United States of America, the society that we live in, actually makes it more comfortable for those people that commit that type of crime to not actually be persecuted. Like, they literally, what you're doing right now is a reason why these women don't come out and speak out, because people, one, don't believe them, two, say, well, what were you wearing? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Or we don't believe you. What's your proof? Like, Literally, the reason why she wouldn't do it is because of what you're doing right now. We
Okay,
don't protect these
so now
victims of
what about situations where people such as Tupac or LeBron James or other people of high stature that have been accused of these alleged
why
sexual-
Tupac and LeBron James? Why that's
hold on, they were
wait,
also
why Tupac and LeBron James?
They were also accused because they're both famous individuals of stature that had leisurely expenses and extravagant vacations in New York City, and they were both accused of SA against two separate females in two separate locations and two separate times, and they were both found to be unfounded.
Okay.
And you have to look at all of this from the wide eye. You can't
but
just say, "Oh, this one person."
you say that, but Donald Trump was actually held civilly liable. So you gave the reference of Tupac and LeBron James, and you even mentioned that they actually found to be innocent, but Donald Jimothy Trump wasn't. So
They also
I'm
both-
confused.
They also both pleaded their innocence at their trial. Tell me, what was Donald Trump's defense at this trial? What was his defense in all of this? Name me one grounds of
that
defense
he wouldn't have
Trump
sexually.
proposed.
Yeah, that he
Name
wouldn't have,
one ground of defense.
that he wouldn't have sexually abused her because she's quote unquote not his type.
Oh, that came up at trial.
But wait, so I'm confused.
Hold on. That was said at trial.
Deposition.
Okay, so that was said at deposition. Was that said in trial? What was his defense? What did he plea as a ground of defense in his trial?
Yeah, that they never met. That they were never around each other.
He didn't, right? He said this is completely unnecessary. This is illogical. I was never there. Prove that I was there because I wasn't there. It's unfounded. So on and so forth. Right?
Wait, so
he didn't
exactly, he was claiming that he wasn't
plead
there.
a
So
ground of
if he
defense.
was never there, why is it the case that he didn't give up his DNA?
Also, I mean, are you saying that the fact that he basically said, "Oh, it's not true," versus LeBron James and Tupac basically saying they didn't do it is the difference? I'm really trying to understand where you're going with this.
So it was actually, if you look at the situation with Tupac, it was a very similar situation where it was a woman. It was well before he was even famous. It was a woman that brought up some old times, said some stuff happened that never happened. At least it was alleged that it never happened, right? Nobody really knows except for her and him. So he was interviewed by the police. It was found to be untrue as far as the investigation goes, and they didn't even pursue it in civil court. Now,
but yeah, I hear you, right? Listen, but the thing that you're sitting here saying is literally, these two other people that you're using as a point of reference have been found was held civilly liable, and you're trying to compare the two and try to find some type of nuance between those two innocent people and the person that was held civilly liable. It doesn't connect. Literally, the evidence showed that Donald Trump actually did this.
Did Trump not file an appeal on that case?
So okay, so
Yes or no? Did he file an appeal? Yes or no?
Did that appeal go through?
Did he?
It hasn't yet, but it's
So
going
what's
to. It's
your
going to be
point
pushed
with
up
that? So
eventually down the line.
does the appeal?
And then what will happen is, hold on. And then what will happen is
hold
he'll
up,
plead a case of defense. Hold on. He'll plead a case of defense. He'll say these are.
He lost the appeal, right? Because the appeal was specifically about Eugene Carroll calling him a rapist, right? And the judge specifically said that he was a rapist as defined in a colloquial sense.
Okay, so Google would see if Trump has a current appeal against Eugene Carroll findings right now.
Tell me, I just referenced.
So so one appeal was denied. That doesn't mean that every appeal has been denied.
Okay, so then why are
And
you?
then also,
Wait. I'm sorry. Would you accept an appeal as reason to believe that he didn't do it?
again, if you look at the entire case, rather
Would
than
you
just
and
what the
accept?
findings
Would you
of
and
the
accept?
state
Would you?
was,
I'm going to ask
whenever
the
you-
question
hold on,
until you
hold on,
answer
stop.
it. I'm
I'm
going to
gonna
ask.
answer
No. I'm going to ask the question until you answer it. You're specifically
gonna answer
trying
the
not to
question.
answer the question. What was
I'm
the
gonna
question?
answer the question
What
in
was
my
the question
statement.
then?
Would I accept the findings in appeal?
Yes. Would you accept the appeal?
Okay, so let me answer that.
It's
Are
a
you
very
gonna allow me
quick
to
answer. You should have already answered it by now.
Yeah, so it depends, right? So it depends on if it's an honest appeal process or if it's just thrown out immediately with no process, right? So
And how do
if
you
you look at
determine
the
that?
totality, okay, so by looking at the evidence, right, and then they're probably going to do something along the lines of a subpoena to require Trump to submit his DNA, which he will do.
No, none of this is the way appeals the appeals court works, and he's already lost his appeal for the first trial, which was the trial for the essay. Appeals don't deal with the evidence or the statements of facts. They deal with procedural or judicial errors, and that would have been the only grounds to grant an appeal. The statement of facts are not overturned on appeal, and he's already lost the appeal for the essay trial.
Also, let's not forget the grounds of the actual appeal. It looks like here the grounds of the appeal are based on three things: one, him having presidential immunity; two, the fact that the actual amount is excessive damages; and three, claims that there was an unfair trial condition. So those are the actual grounds of the appeal that is currently pending, that was supposed to be addressed in 2024 and still has not been addressed as of yet.
That's for the second trial, yes. But for the first trial,
Right.
he already lost the appeal.
Right,
yeah.
exactly. Like I don't understand what we're talking about. It's weird that he's trying to play like these weird semantic games.
Well, the thing that concerns me is when somebody comes and talks about this as if they understand it, when that's not even how the appeals process works. You don't bring in new evidence or dispute the evidence that was brought at trial. You don't try to get the person to provide evidence they didn't provide. You can't do that in an appeal. An appeal is on procedural grounds, which is outlined in exactly what you just said, Santana. There are grounds for appeals. And that trial, the first one for the essay, he lost. The second trial is the one that he's appealing now, and why they've got the charge for excess damages or whatever, and he's going to lose that one too.
Here, let me see.
But no, they don't go back over the facts of the case.
Okay, so new evidence, 100% grant rights for a
Tommy,
retrial.
I'm gonna say thank you to some people real quick.
Retrial? That's for a criminal trial, not for a civil trial.
Tommy, let me say thank you to some people real quick, and then I'll let you continue with the debate real quick. Nick, thank you so much for the $30 on PayPal. Thank you so much. Give some W's for Nick in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Nick. I appreciate the $30. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Nick. Can we get some W's for Nick in the comment section? Matthew, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much for what do you mean by believe? What do you mean by believe? Melody, thank you for the $6. Louise, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. And Sid with the $50. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. For Trinity just requested to follow me and DM'd me saying, I better not see you send money to Parker again. So this is for Trinity Heart. That's so funny. All right, you can continue, Tommy.
Hey, real quick, I have a fun game that I play with Trinity now because she comes into my lives as well. I don't block her. I just mute her for the entire live. Every account that she comes in, I mute her so she can sit and watch. She just can't comment.
That's actually kind of funny. All right, Tommy, you there?
Yeah, so if you look at all of the statistics in previous cases, as far as, for one, jury instruction, and this can be in all of the cases tried against Trump, right? The entire process of all this has been pure political founded. Every single thing has been political persecution. None of these charges would have been brought against any one other person individually had he not been running for presidency. None of this would have even have come up in the first place. They're charging him with felony charges that nobody else has ever been charged for felony charges for. It's 100% political persecution based on liberal mindsets.
Because no one else for president has done this. You do understand that these charges that he was charged with federal, the actual fraud. Are you talking about the fraud, or are you talking about the actual Eugene Carroll case? Because now you're conflating. But you do understand that these charges wouldn't be brought on other people because no one did this while running for president.
Is he pivoting to like the criminal charge now?
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. He was moving to the 34 count felony.
It's both the civil cases and the.
So
the
what proof do you have that
criminal
the civil
cases.
case was politically motivated? Since it's a civil case is brought by.
Let's start with it. Didn't come up until after he was running for office.
A civil case is brought by an individual.
Absolutely, and it didn't come up until after he was running for office. How weird
No.
is that?
Why did Donald Trump end up getting sued?
Why did he?
Because
Why did
a
she
woman
file?
lied about him. Because a woman lied about him and saw an opportunity where she could get hush money real quick to keep the
Hush
case
money?
out of trial. And then Trump decided that he wasn't going to go that route.
I have a question. I have a question.
Whoa,
This never
hold on
happened.
a second. Did
And
you
then-
just say
and then-
something
hold on,
about
hold on. And then,
hush money?
and then a jury.
Now you're
and then a
confusing
jury-
it with yet another trial. There's no hush money involved in the E. Jean Carroll case in any regard whatsoever. What are you talking about?
That was a term that I was using to reference how she was seeing this as a whole. She saw an opportunity to make a quick bag grab, if you would.
That's what you're.
She saw an opportunity to come in and grab a
conjecture
bunch of
by
money.
you.
and she
You don't
did
have
that.
any proof of that whatsoever. You're just making
Just
this
like
up.
she don't have any physical proof that any of this act.
Wait, Tommy.
Yeah, she does, actually.
She does. 1 second. 2, as it relates to this.
What is it? What's the
Tommy,
physical
Jesus
proof that she
Christ, you
has?
can't. Oh my God. Can I speak? Is that okay, Tommy? Are you listening to me? If it was specifically just for money, why didn't she go after any other rich guy? Like, wouldn't it be easier to address or do this to do any other rich guy rather than the president of the United States, who's going to have a whole cult like following that's going to come after you?
Also waiting till you're 80 years old.
She's also a millionaire.
So not every other rich guy has the hatred for them that he does in New York. Whenever she saw this opportunity as something that she knew that a jury of 12 people that would be
It wasn't a
biased
jury of 12
against
people,
him.
Tommy.
I'm sorry, 9 people, whatever it is. She knew that the odds of them finding enough people to be biased against him were good. She saw the opportunity was perfect.
It was a
in
unanimous
timing.
decision when the decision did not have to be unanimous. Explain that.
You're just making shit up, Tommy.
How-
You're just
how am I
making
it
shit up.
whenever-
You're,
okay, so
because
you
you
tell
don't
me-
know this.
so then-
Because you
okay,
don't know
okay,
this
so then-
woman. Can
okay,
I
so
finish?
neither do you.
Can I finish my
Neither
sentence?
do you.
Yes, I do. She's my aunt. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I call bullshit. You're just lying like you do all the time.
Parker, would you like
What?
me to provide proof of that? Because I can.
No, you don't have to provide proof at all. It is the case that like I know that and I can verify that. So like,
Well, then your aunt's a liar.
okay, so
Like,
why
cool.
would
I'm
you
glad
say
that
that
you
to
think
someone,
that,
you
Tommy.
weirdo?
So do most other people. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Tommy, well, Parker, the reason why he would say that is because you've already hit it on the head. Tommy is a cult member. There's nothing that anyone's going to be able to say that's going to change his opinion. He's a grape apologist, a victim blamer, and a cult member. You're being weird, Tommy. You don't know the actual facts of the case. You keep conflating multiple cases. You're speaking from the feelings in your tum-tum and not a lick of intelligence. This isn't good, Tommy. You're not doing good.
Listen, you're accusing me of using emotion to set my findings whenever it's actually the complete opposite.
You just said that you
Tommy,
use a
listen,
term on your own.
Hold on.
You are,
If
Tommy,
Trump came
because
outside
you have
tomorrow-
decided. You have
hold on,
decided
hold on.
with
If
no
Trump came
evidence
outside
whatsoever. No,
tomorrow
I'm
and
not going to
said,
stop
"Hey
talking. You're
guys,
going
the
to
sky
stop
is
talking.
blue." You guys
You
would
have
say, "Holy
decided
shit, Trump just said the
with
sky."
no evidence whatsoever that she has saw an opportunity
Why
for
is life
this, and that's
fucking
why she
blue?
did
Like, come
this,
on,
that
dude.
she's politically motivated, and she did this because of this. You don't know any of these things. You're
Okay,
making
well then
this
get her.
up from
She's
your
your aunt.
feelings.
Get her on live right now. Then get on the live.
I'm not going to do that. She's 80 years old and she's not on TikTok.
Exactly.
right.
And why would
Or
hey
you're
Tommy, why
lying.
would you want to get a victim on a live in front of thousands of people to relive
Again,
what happened
because
to
I
them?
believe she's a
Tommy,
liar.
you are weird.
Yeah,
You're weird.
What a weird thing to do.
Because
Especially
I
when
believe
you're
she's a liar.
especially when you're sitting here and you're saying that she's lying. No, she's not lying. You have no fucking evidence. You have no reason to believe that she's lying.
She doesn't
You're
have
just
any
saying,
physical
you're just
proof
saying
that what she
wait.
said is legitimate
I have a
felony
question.
either.
What do you consider physical proof?
Physical proof would be something undeniable, such as the DNA that she alleges that she has on this dress that should be
He
no
does.
Wait,
problem to
so
turn
if
over.
there's DNA,
So
if
now
it-
here's the deal. Now hold on, here's the deal. Donald Trump.
So
has
let me
been
clarify.
elected
So let me
president.
clarify.
Hold on.
If the DNA on the dress is Donald Trump's DNA, would you say that undeniably and definitively that Donald Trump did it?
Yes.
Okay. So then why didn't Trump
Yes.
give
And
up
then,
his
and then now
DNA
here's the
right
deal,
away?
right? Hey, hold on. Here's the deal. Now Trump has been elected president. That means that what? The United
Why didn't he give up his DNA within the allotted time? He had multiple years to
Hold on,
do
hold
so.
on.
2 years.
So hold on, listen. So Trump has been elected president, which means that his DNA is now on file. So that means that at any point in time they could run that DNA
No,
through
that's
the
not how that
database.
works at all. That would
Civil
be
courts-
illegal.
Civil
No.
courts can't do that.
Really? So okay, so then how do
Again,
they get-
he's
how
just
do they
saying
get-
stuff. He
hold on,
has
hold
no
on. So how
idea
do
what
they
he's
get- how
talking
do they
about.
get- hold on. So how do they find these RIS?
By the way, he just made that up. He just totally made that up. All right.
Yeah.
They cannot, through a civil court, go and find that.
No, you can't do that. In a civil
No,
case,
they
you
could-
have to
they could
volunteer
subpoena
your
it. They-
DNA.
they
They
could
can't
subpoena
subpoena
it, though.
it from you, which is why
They
they
could
can't.
subpoena it though, and he could give them their permission.
Did you
right?
hear what I just said, Tommy? You can't subpoena DNA from someone in a civil case. That's only done in criminal cases. That's
Okay,
why
they could request it. They
And
did
they did
request it, and
request
he
it
said
for
that he
2
would do it
years.
at the
They
last minute,
requested
and they
it.
said no.
Tommy, he requested it for 2 years. They requested it from him for 2 years, and he said no. For 2 years.
For
He had
2
every
years.
opportunity in the
So you're
world.
saying that he never, at no point did he say, "Okay, I'll give you my DNA."
Not until
Not
after
until
the
after.
deadline for submitting new evidence, when the court closed new evidence from coming in from either side, did he
But
say, "Oh, okay, I'll do
such
it"?
damning evidence would likely be illogical for them to turn down. So why would they do that?
Well,
Yeah,
because
why
the
would you do
judge,
that? You tell us.
exactly, the judge said that. But again, flip it on and make his complete case. I mean, like literally blow this thing wide open. Why wouldn't he do it, Tommy? Why wouldn't he? If the judge told him, you have this amount of time to actually turn this evidence in, and this is something that was going to completely clear Donald Jimothy Trump's name, why wouldn't he just say, hey, here's the stuff that you need? Why wouldn't he do that, Tommy?
Well, for one, this is someone that's going and completely lying about his time.
Cool. If
His
you think that he was
character,
lying,
his
if
visuals,
if you
hold on,
think
listen,
if you
she
think
was
Eugene
lying.
Carroll was lying and she
Can I
was,
ask you a question and I'll-
you
and I'll
can right.
finish
You
the
think that
answer
she
or
was
what?
lying and you can prove it. Why wouldn't he submit his actual DNA if she was lying and this would
He offered to.
prove it?
He offered to, did he not?
After 2 years, when the judge sent court orders to both sides, like they do in every trial, saying no new evidence will be accepted after this point. We are starting trial in X number of days. You cannot submit any new evidence after this point. Both sides knew that. And then after that point is when they said, okay, well, maybe we'll give it over. But he had 2 years before that of the plaintiff's lawyers requesting it from him, where he said no every single time, every month for 2 years.
Okay, so just because that he felt that he was in the right and he had no need to offer his DNA until that he saw that they were indeed going to continue on with the propaganda and bullshit trial, then he was like, okay, fine, listen, I'll give you my DNA. Now this is a pain in my neck. Let's just get this over.
Tommy, you
Yeah,
are
sure.
just
You're just
like,
making
this
shit up now.
You're literally just making this up.
No,
Tommy, the reason why we know that you're just making this up is because, and the reason why we know that you're just bullshitting this is because Donald Trump explicitly had multiple years. It's not just an oopsie, in multiple years.
If they had decided to accept that DNA after the deadline, it would have extended the trial another 6 months to a year, if not longer. But he didn't do it in the 2 years that he had to give it. You have all kinds of excuses in the world.
6 months,
Can I
6
finish,
months to
please?
undeniable proof. Y'all don't let me finish anything.
Yeah, I
6
don't
months,
care, because you're just sitting here victim blaming and making up your own facts.
6 months for undeniable.
Hey, Tommy, what do you do for a living? Tommy, what do you do for a living?
I own a couple of businesses.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so you own a business. Tommy, if you have an employee, if you have an employee that works for you and you tell this employee that you need them to provide you with X and you give them a date to provide X and they don't provide X within that date and you say, you know what? I know I said then, but I really need this. So I'll give you an additional couple of days to get me X. And then the employee comes back, the date comes and they still don't have X. But Tommy, you're a good man. You're a great boss. You have a little bit of leniency. You say, you know what? Hey, this is your last chance. I'm telling you, I need this. I'll give you 10 more days. 10 days roll past. And then you come back to that employee and say, hey, employee, I need X. And the employee says, I don't have it. Tommy, what do you do?
Is the information I'm asking for an appropriate piece of information?
Just answer the question. You need X. You need X. You have given multiple. You've given that employee multiple times to give you X, and the employee still has not given you X. What do you do, Tommy, with you and your business?
Is it something that I'm legally allowed to ask them for?
Yes.
Okay, well then, I mean, it depends. There's several things. They could go on a leave of absence. They could have non-paid leave of absence, or maybe a probationary period. There's several things.
Yeah. So you're going to take a certain measure because this employee has not actually met your standard, right, Tommy? So you're going to. So Tommy, you're gonna let the employee just do whatever.
You can't correlate the two because them asking him for DNA, as you guys have repeated many times in a civil trial,
Tommy,
is not something that holds up.
you are disingenuous. You are. This is a disingenuous conversation.
No, it's not. No, it's
yes,
not.
it is
It's
because
basically like you saying. It's basically like you saying, "Hey, if you asked your employee if they were married, and they said, hey, I don't want to answer that," and I keep pushing and pushing and saying, "No, no, no. Hey, are you married? Are you married? Are you married?" That right? That's against the law, right? That's something that I can't do as an
I
employee.
literally just
It's the
said
same
legally
thing.
it's something that you can do, just like legally they can request for Donald Trump to submit his DNA. That was a legal request, and that's what we're talking about. Donald Trump decided he did not want to actually follow through with that request. He was given multiple times to actually do so. That's why he had a 2-year window to do it, and
So
the
you're
judge
saying that
finally
he was legally
put a
obligated to
deadline on him, and he waited until after the deadline to try to do it because he knew that he couldn't do it after the deadline. Tommy, you're weird.
Answer this question. Was he legally
You're not answering
obligated
shit,
to
Tommy. You
submit?
haven't.
Because it's exactly right, because he wasn't. And you're sitting here trying to compare apples to fucking squash. It doesn't correlate.
Wait, can you give us like an actual specific point? Like
Absolutely.
here, how about this? How about this?
Obligated.
How about this?
He's
How
not
about this?
obligated in any
What
court.
evidence?
He's not obligated.
What-
He's not obligated. Hold on. He's not obligated under any law or statute to provide that particular piece of evidence. However, in my situation of asking somebody for information or paperwork, if it is legal, then it's completely separate, because them asking him for something that he's not obligated to give is not the same of me asking my employee for something that they are obligated to give. So your hypothetical doesn't make sense.
Okay, so can I ask you a question? Right, if he was never, if he never met her, does he have good reason to give up his DNA?
Sure.
Okay. Should he have done it within the time slot allotted?
I'm not an attorney, so I don't know.
So, given that you said that it would make sense for him to give up his DNA, right?
Sure. And he did offer, right?
So after the point in which he had the.
When does it
ability-
matter when it happened if he offers them
Can
for...
I please finish?
Sure, let me Google this.
What does it matter? What does it matter? Like, for example, if you turn in your homework after the point in which it's due, would that matter to the teacher? I'm sorry.
Now he's not a lawyer, but all this.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
He thought he was, and now he's having to actually Google facts from the case.
Yeah. Hey,
He thinks that you can go to an appeals court and argue facts and evidence, which can't be done.
Hey, Parker, how long are you gonna be on? Hold on 1 second, Tommy. Hold on 1 second, Tommy. Parker, how long are you gonna be on?
I'll be on for hours.
Okay. Wife and I are going to dinner. If you're still on when I get back, I'll come back.
All right, for sure. I'll see you then.
All right, see you later.
Justin, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Grace, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much.
So let me ask you this, Parker.